And we are back to talk about the waxing gibbous phase of the moon cycle. This is a video series that is made for my newest workbook, Moon Wisdom, which takes you through all of the different phases. And right now we are going to discuss the waxing gibbous moon. So the waxing gibbous moon is approximately, or at the beginning of 75% illumination. So illumination is happening in the first half of the moon cycle, which is known as waxing. So the waxing gibbous is coming up to the peak of illumination, and the peak of illumination, 100% illumination, is the full moon. And that also marks us being 50% through the moon cycle before we go into the second half of the moon cycle, which is known as the waning. So if you have your Moon Wisdom book, I don't know if you've read over this yet. So we are in the waxing gibbous, and this is when we go back into a yin phase. So the previous phase that we went over and we talked about was the first quarter, which was a really, really big one. That phase is one of the most important ones to be super aware of. A lot of the yang phases, you really need to know what's going on energetically if you're pushing forward through something. While the yin is, you can really tone it down a little bit and kind of relax. And so for the waxing gibbous, we focus on being receptive and discerning is a couple of the words that I like to use for this phase. And so receptive is something we want to calm down, and we want to just in generally have a bit of a lower energy, and that allows us to be receptive of what's going on around us. So we have stirred things up for this part of the waxing phase. We dreamed, we planned, we made commitments, and now we need to take a bit of a step back, get a little bit relaxed, and look around at everything that we've done and become receptive of it. And once we become receptive of it, we can find out what's working, what's not working, what has turned out not really to be in alignment, or what has turned out maybe this part of this is something that I don't want to do. And so that's when we become discerning. So we become receptive of everything that's happening around us, what it is that we've created, and the domino effect that has had around in our relationships and our day-to-day life. And then we discern that. So from that, we decide if we need to realign, where we need to realign, if there's anything we need to let go of at this point. Realignment can also be like, okay, this part didn't work out, so I'm going to let that go, and I'm actually going to bring on something else new that's going to work better. So that's where we become receptive and discerning. So one of the, I didn't do mantras a lot through this workbook, but this is one of the particular phases that I really do like to use mantras, a particular mantra for, which is I am open to new ideas and solutions. This is a mantra that's so simple. I mean, they're all so simple, but this one I have found has really, really excellent results for me. So when I put that out there and I literally just exclaim it out into the universe, I am open to new ideas and new solutions. And that really, just saying that is something that can open up your heart, open up your mind, so that when somebody comes to you and says, oh, I have an opportunity, and sometimes we're super shut down to stuff like that. Maybe we're tired of triangle scheme people coming to us and offering us opportunities and whatnot. And so this kind of opens us back up, and we're going to allow new ideas and new solutions to permeate our being, so that we can potentially integrate them into this part of the cycle, and into our lives in general. So that's a morning mantra that I like to use. So for this waxing gibbous, we're almost full. We're moving up to the full moon. So you're going to kind of, now that I think we're only 2 days away from the full moon right now as I'm filming this. And so I can already kind of feel the intensity growing. There's some things that have been happening within my family and within my friend group that I can see that things are percolating, and there's going to be some pop-offs in a good way, and there's going to be some pop-offs in a bad way. So that's what happens when intensity rises. And so we're going to be coming up to that phase very soon. There's a lot of reflection that's going to be happening over the waxing gibbous, so that by the time that we get to the full moon, we're feeling grounded and we're feeling self-aware. And so that helps us to sustain and maintain throughout that full moon cycle, which is something that's very, very important, especially since it's the yanniest of the yan of all the phases. It's very yan. And so when you go through the workbook, you're going to have different journaling exercises and then questions to ask yourself, to reflect on, and become aware of, and just using the next couple of days to not be too out there, not reaching too much, not making too many decisions, just allowing yourself to relax and, like I said, become receptive and discerning of what's happening around you and realign wherever you feel like that's going to need to happen. So that is our waxing gibbous for this moon cycle and for all of the moon cycles. I hope that you're enjoying Moon Wisdom, and if you don't have it yet, you can head to wildmoonsacredcycles.com to get a digital copy of that. All right, I'll see you guys for the full moon. Bye.